Finally tonight, the latest video game craze to sweep the United States and Japan. It's called Nintendo. We have a report from Lee Hochberg of public station KCTF Seattle.
11 world-class contenders. Take them down with your controller, beat them all, and you've got a shot at Tyson's title.
Power! Steal a base, adjust your infield or outfield, and pull off great double plays. I flip over Atari baseball, and you will too.
Afterburner, only on the Sega system. Sega, the challenge will always be there.
Last year in the United States, home video game sales hit $1.1 billion, driven by the game's popularity among 8 to 14-year-old boys.
Actually, my dad plays a lot too.
The best games are the ones that have like a lot of levels, and you can't pass right away. You have to take a while.
You've got to beat Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out from Nintendo. Now you're playing with power.
Japanese-owned Nintendo of America has emerged as the industry leader. The company is based just outside Seattle, where it employs 275 workers serving the U.S. market. Its high-tech, high-profit products accounted for over 70% of all home video game sales in 1987. The company expects industry sales to double this year. Nintendo and its chief competitors, Sega and Atari, have seen the industry go through major changes in its 20-year history.
With the Atari 2600 video game system, games don't get older, they get better. Take Space Wars from 1979 versus the Solaris of today.
The home video fad of the early 80s had a spectacular rise, but the bottom fell out of the first home video boom virtually overnight. In 1983, earnings for the industry peaked at $3 billion. Only 2 years later, sales plummeted to a paltry $100 million. Industry experts like Howard Phillips, a product analyst at Nintendo, blamed the poor quality of the early video game systems for the market's collapse.
When it first came out in the early 80s, everybody rushed out to get one. It was so marvelous that you could have this in your home. It was great technology. It was something that all the kids were rushing to in the arcades. It was very, very enticing. Unfortunately, it was also junk.
Which way to go? Good times.
The current success of home video games, like Nintendo's hot-selling Legend of Zelda, lies in their advanced technology and challenging complexity. The old games were simply too simple.
The difference between 1982 and 83 and 1985, 6, and 7 is technology has taken a substantial leap in our favor. On a computerized circuitry, one action, for instance, pushing the A button in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, initiates a whole series of responses that are going to be depicted on the video screen. You're going to see your character pull back on his arm like he's going to throw a punch. You're going to see Mike Tyson start to lean away a little bit. Maybe his eyebrows will start to flicker a little bit because he's bracing for the blow that's coming from you.
The newest Nintendo game programs are developed in Japan. Then they're transmitted electronically to the United States. Masahiro Ishizuka is part of the Nintendo R&D team.
We try to receive all games over the telephone line for the evaluation, and we feed back to Japan to meet American needs.
Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, Super Mario Bros., Kid Icarus, and Metroid are among Nintendo's biggest sellers, but so far, none has surpassed Zelda in popularity. The game is a complex, high-tech adventure fantasy. It can take up to 90 hours to successfully complete, and it's not uncommon for kids to spend hours playing it non-stop. It's also not uncommon for parents to become concerned over video game addiction. That's according to University of Washington psychologist Laura Kastner.
Well, I think the biggest problem is that the stimulus value of the video games is so high that the children are likely to want to spend a great deal of time involved with them. And then the parents start having concerns about whether this is the kind of activity they want the child to be involved in for 4 or 5 hours a night.
I remember every day after school I used to rush home to play my Nintendo, and I'd just spend hours and hours and just play all just from when I got home from school until I went to bed.
I know this kid, he's 13 years old, and he plays it all the time. Like, he's like how Zach used to be. He plays it, goes home, plays Nintendo, plays it before dinner, eats dinner, goes back, plays Nintendo, plays it till he goes to bed.
The parents worry the most where the children are clearly more involved with this than anything else, and withdrawing from other activities that might be growthful and good for them.
The legend of Zelda is so complex, and kids are so driven to unlock the secrets of the game, that they, like their parents, may turn to counselors for help. They don't turn to psychologists, however, but to professional video game counselors.
What'll happen is you'll get sucked into that pipe. Take care. Okay? Bye. And you'll go down into another warp zone. And what you're going to want to do then is go into that first warp pipe, and that will take you down to the minus world.
Nintendo of America has 75 full-time game counselors on staff. They handle an average of 25,000 phone calls from all over the country each week, calls that are not toll-free.
How do you get the wand? Is the wand in 7?
No, you're going to get the red candle in 7, just like in the first quest.
How do you get the Triforce?
Okay, there's another secret passage. You know where that room that has nothing in it?
Oh, yeah.
The Legend of Zelda, like Donkey Kong and many other video games before it, revolves around the age-old theme of a maiden in distress, which may be one reason boys, not girls, find the games so seductive.
Clearly, the population that's more interested in them and more involved in them is our boys, and the reason for that is probably just more evidence of the sex typing in our culture, which are boys are more competitive, task-oriented, activity-oriented, so this is playing right into their interests.
By the end of this year, we will have, I think, close to 90 or 95% of households with boys between the ages of 8 to 16. So that means if you see a boy on the street, he's got one in his house.
Nintendo recently developed a new video game that's designed to attract girls and which may ruffle a few feminists' feathers. It's aerobics. While boys seek to become heroes by rescuing fair maidens, girls are expected to work on their thighs. For those interested in something a little more assertive for girls, Dr. Kastner has a suggestion.
I don't know what the game would be, but it would be something about, the attractive, I think, would be beating out men going up a corporate ladder or something like that.
In addition to improved graphics and advanced technology, Nintendo also owes some of its staggering success to its aggressive marketing strategies. Nintendo kiosks are popping up in shopping malls all over America. And in Japan, where 1 in every 3 homes is equipped with a Nintendo Entertainment System, extraordinary demand for the product has drawn worldwide media attention.
All of teenage Tokyo seemed to beat a path to the door of the store, selling its latest video game cassette in an unprecedented display of consumer frenzy. The lines outside the Tokyo shop were so long that some waited for 20 hours just for the chance to buy the latest in a series of computer games called Dragon 3.
Nintendo's success in both Japan and the United States is helping fuel expansion at its American plant. The company is enlarging its facility to meet growing demand. And with Nintendo equipment in millions of homes, Howard Phillips says that video games are just the beginning.
Nintendo has got a piece of electronic gear which is in quite a few households now, and we're looking to get it in as many households as we can. In the future, who knows what we'll be able to do with this, in addition to the home video entertainment.
Thank you. May I help you? Okay, you'd need to call our consumer service. Have you tried contacting them? Okay, let me give you their phone number. They're at 1-800-422-2602. Uh-huh. Thank you. Bye. One moment, please. Nintendo, please hold. Nintendo, please hold. Nintendo, please hold. Thank you. May I help you? Thank you. One moment. Nintendo, please hold.
Yes, she is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, not at the moment.
I'll put you through to a supervisor. One moment. Thank you. May I help you? Thank you. Good morning, Nintendo. Afternoon.
Nintendo, please hold.
Good afternoon, Nintendo. You sure may. One moment. Good afternoon, Nintendo. Okay, are you interested in selling the Nintendo?
Thank you. May I help you?
Okay, have you tried calling our consumer service?
Okay, you need to dial
Okay, I'll put you through to a supervisor. One moment. Nintendo, please hold. Nintendo, please hold.
2602.
One moment.
2602. Yes.
Thank you. May I help you? The gameplay counselor's phone number is 206 885
Good afternoon,
7529. Thank you. Good afternoon, Nintendo. Okay, one moment, please. Good afternoon, Nintendo. Thank you. Nintendo, please hold. Nintendo, please hold. Thank you. May I help you? Thank you. May I help you?
Good afternoon,
One moment.
Nintendo. Which one? Thank you.
Nintendo, please hold. Thank you. May I help you? Yes, it is. One moment. Hi, this is Colleen. Hi, Mary.
Nintendo,
Okay.
please hold. Nintendo, please hold. Thank you. May I help you?
How do you
One moment.
Nintendo, please hold.
Thank you.
Thank you. May I help you? Thank you. 4800 is all busy. You'll have to call back. Sure. Nintendo, please hold. Thank you. May I help you?
Gameplay. Hi, Nintendo. This is Craig. How can I help you?
Yes. I was want to inquire about The Legend of Zelda. I was wondering how you go about getting the white sword.
Okay. Before I answer that question, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
It's possible that we might be on ABC News, okay? You and I having this conversation?
Right.
Do you object to that?
No, no problem.
Terrific. Okay, so you're looking for the white sword in Zelda?
Well, I know where it is, but I can't get my hands on it.
Which quest are you in?
The first quest.
Okay, well, you know where it is.
Yeah, right.
All right. What you need to have are 12 heart containers.
Right.
And that's the only thing.
Okay, I've got 12.
Well, then you should be able to get it. You just walk up and you present yourself to the gentleman, and he'll give you the sword.
Okay, I might have miscounted on my my hearts. And also, there's a couple of the graves that don't have a genie. And is there any way you can get in there to move them? I can't seem to move them.
No, that's something that'll it's either left over from the previous quest or it's something to remember in the next quest.
Uh-huh. Okay, that's great. I appreciate your assistance.
Sure thing.
And all it takes is just 12 hearts, right?
12 heart containers, yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot.
You're quite welcome.
Appreciate it.
Sure thing. Bye-bye.
Nintendo Power.
Nintendo Power, this is Craig. How can I help you?
Okay, can you hold on for me?
I sure can.
Okay, Mark.
Hi. Before we continue, I'd like to tell you that ABC News is here, and they're taping me and recording our conversation for possible use on the television. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay, terrific. So what can I help you with?
I would like to order the magazine.
You would?
Yes, the Nintendo.
Uh-huh. Is this for you?
No, for my son.
For your son. Is he
Yes.
in the fun club, do you know?
No.
No? Okay. I gotta do some computer things here.
This is for the Nintendo Power?
Yes, ma'am, the bi-monthly magazine.
Yeah.
Okay, what's his last name?
Watkins?
Watkins, W-A-T-K-I-N-S?
Yeah.
And the first name?
Sean, S-E-A-N.
And what's your zip code, ma'am? No, let's start with your address. I'm sorry.
Okay, 3664 E 117th Street. That's Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay. 44105. Okay. And could I have your home phone number starting with your area code, please?
2 waiting, thank you.
You're quite welcome.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Nintendo Power.
Nintendo Power, how can I help you?
Hi, I'm Jodua. I just called a few minutes ago. I was wondering, when will I be receiving my Nintendo Power with track and field?
Okay, well, I'll answer that question in a second, but I have a question to ask of you first.
Uh-huh.
I have ABC News.
No.
Okay. Let's see. Did you get the Castlevania 2 issue?
No.
No?
I sent it away in November 29th. I was just wondering, when will I receive it?
Oh, okay. They take 4 to 6 weeks.
Uh-huh.
So, it'll be sometime around the middle of January, probably.
Okay.
Okay?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Keep getting his magazine, you know.
Yeah, one will pop up.
That's okay. Here we go.
Gameplay.
Nintendo, this is Craig. How can I help you?
By telling me how to save that kidnapped child in Adventure Link.
Okay, I'll do that as soon as I ask you this question. I have ABC News here, okay? And they're filming me, and they're recording you. And it's possible that that might get onto the television. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. And you're looking for the kidnapped child?
Yeah.
Okay, the kidnapped child is near the maze zone. Okay, it's actually in the maze zone near the 4th palace.
So I'm supposed to just walk around the palace and they'll just warp me into this place?
No, you just walk around the maze zone, and eventually you'll fall into one of those pits. And once you fall into the pit,
Then it just takes me into this place?
yeah, you'll find the child.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. And they're recording me, and they're recording our phone conversation, and it's possible it might be used for broadcast purposes, and I have to make sure that that's okay with you.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. What you have to do is go... Okay, both mazes work in approximately the same fashion. It is the same direction. The directions are left, left, up, and left, okay?
For both of them?
Yeah, now there will be a little bit of option. In one of them, you're going to have a choice when you're going left, take the bottom trail. In the other one, you're going to have a choice when going right, take left, up, left. So, for instance, if you want to go to building 5, it would be left along the bottom, then up, and then left along the bottom. The other maze would be left, left, up, using the left channel.
Okay.
And then left again.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Gameplay.
Nintendo, this is Craig. How can I help you?
937.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you.
Sure thing.
Okay.
Alrighty,
bye.
have fun. Bye-bye.
Gameplay.
Nintendo, this is Craig. How can I help you?
Hi, on Zelda 2, I'd like to know where the cross is.
Okay, before I tell you that, I have to let you know that I've got ABC News here, and they're watching me work, and they're recording our conversation, and it might be used for network broadcast. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay, fine. You want the cross in Zelda 2 in
Yeah.
Link? Okay, it's in the 6th palace. Okay, you know where the 6th palace is?
Yeah.
Okay, you have to go in there and just don't fall down any pits, and
Okay.
you'll find the cross.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, thank you.
Alrighty.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Gameplay.
Nintendo, this is Craig. How can I help you?
Yes, in the Adventures of Link.
Yes.
Okay, now the sixth palace is after the big black spider, right?
Okay, before I get too involved with you here answering your questions, I want to let you know that ABC News is here. They're broadcasting, or they're recording, and it's possible that conversation might be used on the news. Is that okay?
Okay. But that is where 6 is.
6 is at the rocks. You have to blow your whistle at the 3 rocks in the desert. Three-eyed rock, they call it. Yep, blow the flute. And once you do that, if you do it in the right position, the palace will appear.
Whereabouts? What position?
Well, it's right between the 2 rocks on the side.
Where the three rocks are by themselves?
Uh-huh. Just.
How do you get into that other town over on the side? I found the hidden town. But and where's the cross?
The cross is inside the 6th palace.
I have to get that before I can get in the town, right?
Well,
I keep running into something on the other side of the bridge.
Yeah, the cross will allow you to see the invisible items, or
Well, there's no way to get past that, I think, until I get the cross.
Well, I guess only.
Not fun getting killed.
Yeah, only if you were to build up a whole lot of extra guys. There's really nothing else you can do. It's really not that beneficial. The cross is a better idea. That it's less time consuming and things.
That's what they mean when it says call, reach so-and-so and call for help.
Call for help at Three-Eyed Rock, yes.
Because I found the hidden town. There's nothing else over there besides the hidden town, right?
That's correct. On that side, there's just the hidden town.
Where's the key?
The key is in the hidden town. You have to cast spell at the dead end.
Okay, that's the next thing I was going to ask you. Was that a wall or what was that?
Yeah, that's just a dead end. I guess a cliff, a bluff,
Okay, and where is the next palace?
I guess that would be the 7th palace. You have to go through the graveyard and all that red clay. Work your way through all of that, and then you get to the end, and that's where the 7th palace is.
The graveyard, and then what, around the front of it, or?
Well, you just exit from the bottom of the graveyard.
Will do. I'll try it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're quite welcome.
Let's see, which news did you say?
ABC.
ABC. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Counts is a little tricky. Well, you always have to understand that it's up to you to execute. As far as the count is concerned, basically what you want to do is I just wait, okay? And when you're close to it, open up this cage.
No. That's up
You
level.
just get close to it,
take that
and
second
you just
elevator.
jump over the fireballs and you lose in the face.
Is that cable out of your window?
Go ahead.
Hi, this is Shannon. Hi, this is Shannon. I'd just like to let you know that I am being
In Zelda 2?
Mm-hmm.
Last level?
Mm-hmm.
How in the world do you beat your shadow when he's 10 times as fast as you and he blocks all your shots?
But you know what? Out of all the questions, that's the only one I really can't help you with, because that's the end of the game.
Yeah, I know. I saw the Triforce.
You did?
Yeah,
Well,
it's real nice, but first you gotta beat your darn shadow that moves 10 times as fast as you and you can't hit him.
yeah.
Drives me nuts.
I know. Okay, well, the best I can do for you is wish you luck and keep my fingers crossed, okay? And I'll do that.
All right, thanks.
Okay?
All right, bye.
Good luck. Bye-bye.
Gameplay.
Hi, this is Shannon. Can I help you? Uh-huh.
Where's the band that you can get the dope from?
The what?
Where can you get the dope?
In Zelda, you're looking for what? The note? You want to go... I will. It was a momentary mind block. Hi, this is Shannon. I just want to let you know that I'm being taped and your voice may be,
We're shooting for ABC News. We may use this on the news, and we'd like their permission to listen to the conversation.
Yes, I'd just like to let you know that they're taping for ABC News, and your voice may be used in one of the clips. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the problem?
We can't find the first key on Adventure of Link in level 6.
The first key?
Yeah.
Okay, well, what you got to do is there's a magical key, okay?
Where do you get that?
Okay, the magical key you find in the hidden town of Casuto.
Where's that?
Where's that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know do you know where the Six Palace is?
Where the what?
The Six Palaces, the 3 rocks?
No.
Okay. Do you know where the Dead Town is?
Yeah.
Okay.
In there.
Okay, no. It's to the right of there. Okay?
You just keep on going right?
Right, and then you'll see the 3 rocks.
Yeah.
Okay, after you see the 3 rocks, what you got to do is you got to go up to the right of there. You'll find a cave with some woods inside. Okay? And you go through the woods, and you got to use your hammer inside of the woods.
On the woods?
No, in the woods.
Okay, so where do you use the hammer?
Where do you use it?
Anywhere?
Yeah. No, you just, well, yeah, you want to do,
Okay, we're having trouble with Super Macho Man.
Super Macho Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not an easy one. Let's see here.
We have a lot of trouble, you know, when he does his punch and he draws back.
Those spin punch, dodges punches, and then counter punch, okay? If you hit him in the face as he's pulling back from an uppercut, what's going to happen is that's how you're going to get those stars, but you can only use 2 of them. So when he does the spin punch, you got to dodge till he... Okay, well, I wish you lots of luck and have fun with Tyson.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Gameplay.
Hi, this is Shannon. We're being videotaped for... Has he got a ball and chain?
Yeah.
Looks like a ball and chain?
Yeah.
Okay, what you're going to want to do is use your jump magic, okay? And just as he's getting ready to throw that out at you,
yeah.
What you want...
You get a new tape.
Game Boy. It is the video game craze, the Nintendo craze. But as our consumer editor Paula Lyons shows us this year, Nintendo may be up against some serious competition.
It's your Game Boy. I give it an A. Nintendo.
We're in the thick of television's annual commercial assault. Video game makers are spending $155 million in their battle for the consumer's buck, even though there's never been much of a contest out there. Nintendo has been the hottest, best-selling toy for 3 years running and has cornered over 90% of the video game market.
This Christmas could be Nintendo's biggest and best super-selling season. But will it be its last? Some toy industry analysts think so. Why? They cite recession, increased competition, and Nintendo's own market saturation. 29 million American homes, that's nearly 1 in 3, already have Nintendo.
I think the level of business done in the category is certain to decline. If for no other reason than most households already have their hardware, so if they're only going to buy software going forward, that's a lot less money that's going to be spent on the category.
If decline's coming, kids don't know it. Almost every day after school, these Dobbs Ferry, New York kids gather to play Nintendo.
I like Super Mario Brothers 3 because you can do a lot of stuff that you can't do in real life, like you can fly. I like the games because like it's just like a TV show, but you're like acting it out and you're not even in it.
When I do get a new game, it's fun to play it a lot because it's like exploring a new place that you've never been before.
But in America, the Nintendo system's brain is an 8-bit computer chip, a technology rapidly becoming outmoded. Nintendo has a more powerful 16-bit system already hot in Japan, but it won't arrive in the States till late next year.
What Nintendo don't? The 16-bit Genesis system by Sega. Genesis does it all.
Sega's Genesis is Nintendo's nemesis. It's one of 2 16-bit systems that are already in the U.S. Sega clearly hopes to leapfrog Nintendo by touting 16-bit's advantages.
You get better graphics, more levels of play, better animation on the screen, longer games, just more fun to play. Our sales right now are up about 50% versus a year ago at the consumer level. The market is down. I think that's an indication of where the consumer is going.
Nintendo, however, does not plan to relinquish any ground. It says technology's only one thing.
First and foremost, it's games. It's always games. It's like opening up a new movie theater that's got 16 stereophonic sound. If you don't have any fun movies to watch, who's going to go?
Until Nintendo debuts its Super System here, its customers' appetite for new gadgets is being sated by Game Boy, a portable handheld machine some commercials target at adults.
You don't stop playing because you get old. But you could get old if you stop playing.
Originally, video games were toys. They were boy toys. But now we're seeing about 40% of the users are adult, over 18. About 30% of the users are female. It's no longer a boy toy. It's a form of entertainment.
As game fanatics know, all this fun does not come inexpensively. The hardware for Nintendo's basic 8-bit system is about $100, with additional games about $30. Really popular ones like this play-action football can cost $50. Bad enough. Move on to 16-bit technology like Sega's and NEC's, and the hardware costs $200 and games $50 to $70. There are 2 big questions. Will enough parents be willing to shell out that kind of money after already investing heavily in 8-bit systems and games? And will they remain loyal to Nintendo if and when they do upgrade? The answers to those questions may very well define the future of the video game industry.
And Paula is with us right now. Paula, just how much of a threat is this? Because the reports say they're on their last leg, the major competition.
Nintendo's a very, very strong company, and so far its competition hasn't been more than a blip on the screen. But some are saying this could be their competitor's opportunity because they've got the 16-bit system.
Yeah.
Nintendo doesn't have it here until next fall. In Japan, where Nintendo does have it, though, it is flying out of the stores, flying. Will that be repeated here? We don't know. We have a different economy, a different situation, and we're going to have to wait
and
see.
they're like a year late.
Right.
All right. Paula, thank you very much.
September 23rd, 1889. The Dakotas, Montana, and Washington wouldn't officially be states until later that year. London was trying to find Jack the Ripper, and Edison's team was working out motion pictures. But in Kyoto, Japan, Fusajiro Yamauchi had begun manufacturing playing cards, setting in motion the company that would one day dream up Game Boys, Super Nintendos, Luigi, Mario, and Princess Peach.
And what we're executing is completely different from what they're doing.
There's never a time when they're going to be in the building more than 5 minutes.
I got it! I got the Wii! I got it!
Nintendo is part of an ever more crowded video game market, up against companies like Sony, Microsoft, Apple, and Google. When Nintendo first got into the home console business in the 80s, it dominated. But ever since, things have been more complicated.
The competitors are obviously Sony and Microsoft. Microsoft goes far beyond gaming. Sony, certainly in this generation, they've dominated with the PS4.
And mobile gaming has completely changed the playing field.
Nintendo was seen as the king of the handheld market for a very long time, and that market has now been taken over by the mobile games business.
The global video game market was worth almost $150 billion in 2019. Mobile gaming made up nearly half of that.
If you go back to the days where they were really dominant was when they had the DS and Wii platforms, and they were dominating in both segments. You know, Nintendo was generating operating profit of in excess of 500 billion yen, around $5 billion. And now, at the peak of Switch, we're looking somewhere around 350 billion yen, so about $3.5 billion.
But at the beginning, Nintendo didn't have anything to do with video games. Nintendo spent decades focused on playing cards.
Playing cards were a good business until the 1950s, but they also realized if they continue doing playing cards, they will not be able to survive. This may be a trend, things may change. So that's why they started to do toys, that's why they started to go into various other businesses.
In 1949, 21-year-old Hiroshi Yamauchi was named Nintendo's new president. He would go on to run the company for more than 50 years. The company went public in 1962. Early on in his tenure, Yamauchi took Nintendo into several new business ventures. The company at one point sold ramen noodles, ran a taxi service, and produced a small toy robot vacuum cleaner.
In the 60s and 70s, you would see them with sort of electronic toys, dabbling in electronics. And by the end of the 70s, they had produced a home Pong console. And they saw video games as a way forward for the company, a new thing to experiment with.
It was a smart move. The market was already huge and had been rapidly growing. In 1979, Nintendo started producing arcade games with names like Sheriff, Space Fever, and then, in 1980, Radar Scope. But Radar Scope was a failure for the just established Nintendo of America, so it was reworked into a new game by a young artist named Shigeru Miyamoto, who would eventually become one of the most famous and beloved figures in all of video game history. That reworked game, released in 1981, was Nintendo's first big hit, Donkey Kong. While this was happening, people were, in general, really excited about video games. Arcades were huge. The Atari 2600 had already come out in 1977.
The video game market in the early 1980s had lots of investment, lots of new companies. Everybody and their mother was making video games for the Atari. Everybody goes to arcades and plays arcade games.
By 1982, around 100 companies were fighting for a foothold in the industry. That year, arcade games brought in $27 billion. Revenue from consoles was $14 billion.
Bally Manufacturing stands to make $100 million selling Pac-Man machines.
Then, in the US, the video game crash of 1983 happened.
The video game market is very cyclical. There are a lot of boom-bust cycles.
The market had become oversaturated as manufacturers focused ever more on quantity, not quality.
Everybody and their mother who had an Atari system had at least one or two games they'd bought at that point for $50, which were awful, unplayable garbage.
In 1983, the New York Times reported that demand was up 100% and manufacturers' output was up 175%. At the same time, many consumers were moving from their Ataris and Intellivisions to home computer systems. From 1982 to 1985, revenue from arcade games dropped 66%. Console revenue dropped 93%. Atari lost $536 million in 1983. That same year, it dumped 14 truckloads of discarded game cartridges in a New Mexico landfill.
It opened up as basically IP and everybody started producing very low quality games. And that's what led to the crash of home gaming console business.
Despite the market crashing in the US, in 1983, Nintendo released the Family Computer, or Famicom, in Japan. It did well there, but when the company wanted to release a North American version, it had to deal with the market in shambles.
A lot of people at the time said, Nintendo, you missed the boat here, you guys don't know what you're doing. But that's also exactly why they succeeded, is because the market was at the perfect point for them to come in and completely take over.
So Nintendo reworked the Famicom, gave it a new housing, renamed it the Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES, and released it in North America in 1985.
The Nintendo Entertainment System. Now you're playing with power.
The NES established what is considered the third generation of video game consoles. It was breaking into a market that other companies had been working in for years. The biggest player at the time was Atari, but Atari, like its competitors, had just taken a huge hit. One of Nintendo's first key decisions in the US was marketing the NES as a toy, not a video game.
Nintendo was the one who said, we're going to make this for kids.
We're going to do a heavy marketing push for toys, get it out of electronics because nobody's buying it in electronics.
And in 1986, the system was the hottest toy on the market for Christmas. And in 1987, the same thing happened.
Interactive or video games will lead the holiday charge to the cash register. Retailers' overwhelming choice for the season's biggest hit will once again be the Nintendo Entertainment System.
They're exciting and challenging. It's fun, challenging each other with two-player games.
By 1987, Nintendo had taken 65% of the hardware market, and Atari was down to 24%. That's compared to its 80% just a few years prior. The other thing that Nintendo decided to focus on was producing not just systems that worked well, but vitally, good games.
If the quality bar could be raised, then the overall market for video games could be broadly expanded. You could start to tell stories, you could do something other than just shoot the aliens and don't die.
And it worked really well.
The total market at retail in 1988 is some $2.3 billion. In a hardware sense, it's probably about 8 to 8.5 million pieces of hardware in 1988. And of that, Nintendo has just in excess of 80% of those customers.
The protagonist in the first version of Donkey Kong was called Jumpman, but in the North American version, he was renamed Mario. After that came the arcade game Mario Brothers. And then with the NES, and once again designed by Shigeru Miyamoto, Super Mario Brothers.
Mario the plumber, unassuming as can be, will be the heir to the Mushroom Kingdom.
I have this very ingrained, deep memory of sitting in my babysitter's basement and playing Mario for the first time and just having my mind absolutely blown.
Nintendo from about 86 until about 89 completely dominates the United States home video game market. And they continue to dominate it after 89. It's just that in 1989, Sega shows up with the Sega Genesis. And Sega's entire aura is that they're not Nintendo, they're in your face, they're extreme, their logo is Sega! And Nintendo is sort of caught off guard by having competition. And with the launch of the Genesis, the console wars as we know them now really start to take off.
16-bit arcade graphics.
You can't do this on Nintendo. Genesis does.
Sega did manage to take some of the market, but Nintendo would ultimately win that war. In 1989, it released the Game Boy, which did to handheld gaming what the NES did to console gaming. Nintendo had been experimenting with handheld systems since 1980 with its Game & Watch systems, but the Game Boy took things mainstream. Then the Super Nintendo was released in 1990.
So that's the new Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
But in 1995, it took a sharp left turn and released the Virtual Boy.
Virtual Boy, a 3D game for a 3D world. Wanna play?
And it was awful. It really was. There was nothing good about it. It was an attempt to find the fun in the VR way before VR even existed. Certainly a major misstep from Nintendo. But on the other side, it is a testament to their willingness to experiment and to find the fun.
The following year, Nintendo went back to basics and released the Nintendo 64.
Hottest game system in history, and I guess I must be talking about N64!
Then in 2000, Sony launched the PlayStation 2, and Nintendo decided that they were going to do the same thing, this time 128-bit, the GameCube, but they launched a year late. So Nintendo and Microsoft kind of split up what was left over after Sony dominated. And Nintendo licked their wounds, went back to the drawing board, and decided we're going to do something different.
You can see from the period where the N64 launches to that period of GameCube time that they're struggling a little bit.
They said that famously, we're going to swim in a blue ocean, not a red ocean. We don't want to be there with all the other sharks competing with one another. We're going to do something different.
In 2004, Nintendo released the handheld Nintendo DS, which would become its best-selling device. Then in 2006, it released the Wii.
More than 1,000 people lined up to get a Wii, and Nintendo officials were proud to report they had enough for everyone.
It killed it. They went from being the leader in 85 and 90 to being the laggard in 95 and 2000 to being the leader again in 2006.
It was targeting a different set of values than what more mainstream gaming was focused on at the time.
I was the first person on the West Coast to get a Wii. There are literally pictures of me in my Mario overalls, like holding a Wii above my head.
How long did you wait?
I waited since 1991.
The Wii's hardware was launched after the Xbox and all these other things. It was slower than all of those other things. People were salivating at the mouth for this thing. Steven Spielberg was down there at E3 waving it around and everybody's lined up for hours to play with this thing. Why? Because it's fun.
Then in 2012, the Wii U was released, and it was the biggest commercial failure since the Virtual Boy. The Wii has sold 101 million units. The Wii U sold 13.5 million.
In Japan, many companies have a tendency to bring new products to market very quickly. The time production to market is much shorter, so companies develop quickly. If some products fail, that's not such a big problem. The idea is that you can only keep customer interest if you constantly produce new products that are interesting for the consumer.
While the Wii U was a commercial failure, some see it as a necessary step toward Nintendo's Switch, released in 2017.
The Wii U was a half step. I feel like the Wii U was Nintendo trying to do the Switch before they could do the Switch. And I don't know that it was a mistake. While the Wii U was definitely not a commercial success, I don't know that you would have a Switch without it.
Commercially successful and critically praised, the Switch and its games have been seen as a return to form for Nintendo. The company's revenue jumped 116% the year after the console was released.
You sold 2.74 million units of your new Switch console in just the first month. Are you going to be able to keep up this pace?
We're certainly working hard to.
But lately, it hasn't been able to keep up with the pace. Right now, with the global coronavirus pandemic, Switch consoles are suddenly sold out almost everywhere, as gaming overall is up 75% since early March.
The Switch is a great console. People will pay $300 plus another $50 just to play Breath of the Wild. And that's how good Nintendo games are. And if they weren't that good, we still would not have Nintendo consoles, because nobody else is making games on Nintendo consoles that anybody really goes too crazy about.
Games, along with the consoles they're played on, have always been important to Nintendo. The consistency of their quality is seen as a uniquely Nintendo feature.
They're so consistently the best at making certain kinds of games, it makes it inevitable. I guess it's sort of like the Beatles in a way. It's like you reach a certain level and it's like the Beatles are just going to keep getting passed down to generation and generation and generation, and Nintendo's the same way.
In an industry where a lot of other video games are now focusing on a very realistic experience, an amazingly graphical, accurate experience, high frame rates, technical specs, Nintendo said, we don't care about any of that, we're focused on fun.
They are going down a strategy which is all about complexity, center of the living room. We just want to bring consumers gaming fun.
And those games are where Nintendo makes a lot of its money.
They make a little bit of money on the hardware, but most of the money is made on the software side, and they're not as reliant on third-party software as Sony is. Nintendo is, it's all about their own games.
Nintendo has also been famously protective of its intellectual property. With non-Nintendo games, you can often choose what kind of device you want to play it on. Nintendo games can almost always only be played on Nintendo devices.
People do not like being locked into the platform that they are playing the game on. Example, you can play Fortnite on your phone, on your console, on your PC, you name it, and your progress carries from platform to platform. And people love this. It's like how people use Netflix.
If they would take their software and say, anybody who wants to play our software can play it, they would make a lot more money.
So what does the future look like for Nintendo? Some see its perceived disinterest in mobile gaming as a misstep and as an obvious next move.
They let mobile pass them by, and they haven't figured out how to participate in mobile.
What we are disappointed mainly is that the company is not showing an intent and the speed when it comes to mobile games. The real unlocking of value happens in mobile game platform.
One thing they have that nobody else has is a gigantic library, more than 1,000 handheld games. And if they were to emulate Apple Arcade and put 1,000 games on it, they would have 100 million subscribers paying them $5 a month. It's not reflecting the share price because they haven't monetized it yet. But if you're looking at Nintendo going forward, I think that's the answer.
Nintendo has published mobile games in the last few years, like Super Mario Run, but they've always taken a back seat. Avoiding mobile games could be a strategic move for Nintendo, considering what happened when Sega stopped making consoles in the early 2000s.
Once it abandoned its own consoles, the Dreamcast being the last of the consoles that Sega developed, and started developing games for other consoles, other platforms, the popularity of those titles never kind of got repeated on other platforms. I think Nintendo is aware of what happened to Sega, and they realize that if they move away from that captured audience and really focus on other platforms, there is a strong possibility that they'll get diluted and kind of lost at sea because there's just so much game content coming out on the mobile platform.
There's also the emergence of cloud gaming, like with Google Stadia, Microsoft xCloud, or NVIDIA GeForce Now.
Games are going on the cloud. They're going to be played on the cloud. They're going to be increasingly hardware agnostic. Nintendo can't afford to ignore cloud gaming. You can see how they're years behind the PlayStation Network as well as Microsoft's. And now you've got the king of the network, Google, coming in. It's going to be very challenging for them. Just the quality of games alone is unlikely to persuade the gamers. If you don't have the quality of network, the robustness of the network gaming that gamers require, and in that case, you got to ask yourself, where does that leave Nintendo?
Another eventuality is that longtime Nintendo employees like Miyamoto will one day age out of the company.
When I first started, I always thought I would be young. And now I find that when I come to these types of events and get out among the other game developers, somehow I'm the oldest guy in the room.
People like to say Shigeru Miyamoto is like the Walt Disney of Nintendo. In many ways, like Nintendo is Miyamoto, Miyamoto is Nintendo. They're so interlocked. Whether or not Nintendo can survive without Miyamoto is a bit like asking if Apple can survive without Steve Jobs. It's the same level of importance to the company. So using that as a framework, I would say the answer is yes. Miyamoto has infused so much of his DNA into the company.
Miyamoto-san is, obviously he's been a driving force of the gaming business initially for Nintendo, but Nintendo has a very deep bench. Nintendo has a very, very strong development base.
I think that some of the talent that they have is once-in-a-generation talent and can never be replaced. So I wonder what happens to a post-Shigeru Miyamoto Nintendo.
This love for Nintendo and its characters is something that consistently sets it apart from its competition. Mario and Miyamoto have no equal. Typically seen as conservative with what it allows its IP to be used for, Nintendo has been recently exploring new things. There's a Mario Lego set coming out, a Mario animated movie. There's even a Nintendo theme park in development at Universal Studios Japan.
I personally looked at that and was like, oh my god, how can I get tickets? How can I get there, please? No offense to Ubisoft, but if they were like, Ubisoft World, I don't know that as many people would be like, I need to be there now.
With so many successes under its belt and its monumentally impactful characters and other IP, Nintendo is in a position where it can still easily experiment and take risks. As of December 2019, Nintendo had just over $8 billion in cash and deposits alone.
Certainly not in the last 31 years that I've been in the market have I seen Nintendo actually struggling for cash.
Financially, Nintendo is not really a company we need to worry about. But it is, of course, a risky business that the expectations are that Nintendo must be an innovative firm forever. And this may be a problem. But in Nintendo's case, we can say that they have very strong and very profitable side businesses that will basically secure survival.
And now, Displays with Jake.
Hi, I'm Jake. I've put together a little film to show you some of our displays. Follow me. This is the Nintendo Power Previews display. Works a lot like a jukebox. You walk up, you push a button, and it plays the game that you've selected. Sometimes you need to adjust the volume on this. To do that, you take your key number 2007, go underneath the keypad, and open up the keypad and then drop down the front door. You'll find two different buttons here. One of them adjusts the attract mode volume, while the other one will adjust the volume of the game that you just selected. You may also see another version of this that's 30 inches wide. Now, we've got a lot more to look at, so let's go take a look at those. There you are! This is the Super NES Floor Interactive Display. You can play some really cool Super NES games on this thing. Sometimes you'll want to change those games out. To do that, take your key marked LL419 on your really cool Mario Paint keyring and open it up by unlocking the lock on the side, and that'll flip the cover up. Open the cover, turn off the power, push down on your eject button, and that'll pop up the game pack. Take out the game pack cartridge, take your new game pack cartridge, put it into the slot, push down firmly, be sure to turn your power back on, and then close and lock your cover. Now, sometimes you'll want to change the volume on this as well. To do that, we have to run around to the side here. The side panel will open up if you take the same key and open the lock on the back of the display. Open up that lock, open the side panel, and if you look right down here, you'll see a little blue block with little teeny tiny switches on it. Right above that is a little thing that looks like a screw head. Take the screwdriver you got in your kit and turn that little screw head one way or the other to adjust the volume. Me, I like the volume up really high. Hey, does this look familiar? This is just like the other unit we just saw, only the countertop version. The inside workings are just like the other one, so I'm not going to bother showing you that. I do want to show you how to set the volume on this one, and that's around the other side. Come over here, and again, we look for that little blue block where the timer settings are made, and look for the little screw head driver adjustment right above that. Be sure to put in your screwdriver, and you know me, I like it up real loud. Hi again. Let's talk about some Game Boy displays. First, we've got the Game Boy Counter Interactive Display. Here, you've got your cool Game Boy with amplified stereo sound. Now on this display, you want to change out the game pack and or adjust the volume. To do that, let's go to the back of the display. In the back, take your key marked MM101, unlock the back door, open it all the way up, and inside you'll see the top end of your Game Boy here. To change the cartridge, be sure to turn the volume on your Game Boy off, push up on the game cartridge and lift it out, and then take the game cartridge that you want to replace and put it in with the label facing down, press firmly into the Game Boy, don't forget to turn the power back on, and you're ready to play your new game. Now, adjusting the volume. Let's move to the left-hand side over here. You'll see a funny little electronic board with a bunch of little things like legs and, bugs with legs and stuff. And right up here, you've got a little shaft sticking out with a rubber grommet on it. That's your volume control. Take that and turn it up to make it louder, or down to make it quieter. And don't forget, always close and lock your displays. Next, we'll talk about this unit here. Another great Game Boy Interactive with a Game Boy mounted right in here, superb stereo amplified sound, but in this one, we've added some really cool special electronics so that we can watch the game being played on a TV screen. Now here, we don't have to get into the back of the display. To change the game cartridge or adjust the volume, we simply open the front panel by using your MM101 key again, turn the key, the front panel flips down. Inside, at the top of your Game Boy, just like we did a minute ago, you can turn the power off and pull your game cartridge out to change it. To put a new one in, don't forget, label has to be down. Insert that into the back of the Game Boy, turn your power back on, and you're ready to play. Adjusting the volume is just as easy. Over here on the right-hand side, you'll see a little black handle sticking off of the electronic board. Simply turn that up or down to adjust your volume. Again, don't forget to close and lock your cover. Almost done, only 3 more to go. Let's start out with some of our bigger displays. Here we've got a Super NES Interactive, and you've seen the Super NES before. This one, you've changed the game pack out in before, so we'll skip all that. But on this one, the volume is a little bit tricky to find, so I want to show you where that's at. Take your key marked MM101, unlock and open the cover, And looking way up here on the left-hand side, there's a little tiny knob to adjust your volume. Use that to adjust your volume up and back down again. Be sure to close your cover and lock it. Another display that's very similar to this, and another gargantuan in size type display, is this one right here. On this one, we have both the NES and a Game Boy. On the NES side, I want to show you how to change the game pack and adjust the volume on this one. We haven't seen the NES before. Again, using your key numbered MM101, unlock the cover, lift it out of your way, and inside you'll see the Nintendo Entertainment System control deck. To change a cartridge, press your power button, lift the door, pop out the old cartridge, and take the new cartridge that you want to put in, label facing up, stuff it in there and push it down. Pop down that door, push the power on, and you're ready to play. One more thing before we get out of here is this volume control over here. You've seen the board before, you've seen the silver shaft before, and there's a little rubber grommet. Just take it and turn your volume up or down, and you're all set. Don't forget, close the door and lock it. Okay, over here on the Game Boy side, again, this is all part of this one great display. And one more time, we put those really special electronics in here so you can see the game on the TV screen. The Game Boy down here is mounted into this cover. To change the game pack or adjust the volume, one more time, take that MM101 key, you ought to know that number by now, push it into the lock, unlock, the whole cover comes out, but be careful not to pull too hard, you'll yank all the wires out. Inside, you've got access to your Game Boy cartridge, and you've already seen how to change that out. Down here, you've got your electronic board with that real familiar silver shaft and rubber grommet. And if you haven't guessed by now, that is the volume control. When you're done, put your cover back on and lock the display up. Okay, time to move on. Jake's journey is almost over, but first I've got one more display to show you. Here we've got the 3-system interactive tower with the NES, Game Boy, and the Super NES in it. Let's take a look. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, with this thing, all three sides are set up pretty much the same. They've got the unit housed inside of a drawer where you can get into and change the game packs out. Let's see how we do that. Underneath the center of the drawer, you take your MM101 key into the lock, you turn the lock, and then pull your drawer out as such. Lift your cover up, you can get inside, change the game pack out, turn the unit on and off. Be sure to close the cover up, and obviously we want to close and lock the drawer down here. That leaves just the volume control. Real easy spot, not very visible. Over here on the left-hand side, just under the drawer, feel around, you'll find a little black tube down here. Take that tube and turn the volume up or down as you see fit. Now you know me, I like the volume up really high.
You work hard. You do a good job. You're nice to your customers. Why then must you suffer the headache of returns?
Excuse me, I'd like to return this Nintendo. Who do I talk to about that?
Tell you what, you'll need to go right back there to the electronics area and they'd be happy to help you.
Oh, gosh, you know, I haven't really got a lot of time. Could you take care of it here,
I'd
please?
love to, but I can't. I need to send you to electronics right back there. They'd be happy to help you.
All right, thank you.
Hi there. What can I do for you?
Customer service sent me over to talk to you to give this to you. If you take a look at it, I don't know what's the matter with it. It was working and now it's not working, so I'd appreciate if you, take a look at it. I'd like to get an exchange for it if I could.
An exchange?
Yes, sir.
Do you have, I guess I better take a look
Why
at it
don't you
here.
take a look at it?
Yeah.
That's right, thank you.
Do you know what's on here?
No. I mean, the kids couldn't have done anything. I mean, they're good kids.
Sometimes they'll put soft drink or something on there.
No, it's not soda pop. I don't know.
Certainly.
It was fine. I would just. I'd appreciate it if I had an exchange on it. I have an appointment I gotta get going.
You know, I'd really like to help you out here, but I don't, you know, an exchange.
Listen, you guys have been great in the past, and I'd, you know, you've always taken care of me, and I'd appreciate an exchange.
But, you know, the warranty does specify that you have to keep it really clean because it doesn't work if it gets dirty.
Some people will go to great lengths to return an abused or an out-of-warranty piece of merchandise. What are you supposed to do? Tell them what you really think? Of course, you can't do that. And how about the customer who tries to bully you into taking back something you know isn't broken? These guys are a real problem.
You people amaze me. You really amaze me. Your quality control people, they just have bats in the belfry. Bought this Game Boy yesterday, took it home, nothing. Absolutely nothing, no picture. I'm pretty sure it's the EEPROM, so if you just want to take a look at that, I'd fix it myself, but I don't really have the tools, so I'll take my money back if you...
I'm sorry you had a problem. There's nothing at all, huh?
Nope.
Well, let's see.
EEPROM.
Power on. Battery looks okay. There's the tone. And give it a moment, and... got the music. Uh-huh. Here we go. I think this is probably the problem. Yeah. Just needed to turn up the contrast a bit. How's that look?
Oh. Of course, the contrast. I think that was probably my kid didn't... I'll take it. I'll take it.
You'll take it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what about the nice guys who actually have a legitimate problem? In many ways, they're the toughest of all to take care of.
To bother you. The controller doesn't work.
Oh.
There's a picture, but there's no action. Probably I didn't read the instructions right.
I'll just take a look here and see how it works.
I didn't want to have to bring it in, but I just couldn't get it to work. And
There you go. It's working now.
Oh, look, sweetie, it's working. Oh. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm
Now
so
tell me, when
sorry.
you plugged it in, did you put it into port number 1 or port number 2?
I put it in port number 2.
Uh-huh. Okay, well, plug it into number 1. Because if you put it into number 2, it won't work.
Oh. Oh, I can't believe
That's
it.
a simple mistake.
I'm sorry, honey. It was really something.
It's easy to see that all customers are not the same. But no matter what size or shape they come in, and no matter what kind of products they're bringing back, they all have one thing in common. They feel they have a problem. Now for the good news. Nintendo is doing something about it. Something that will make your job a whole lot easier.
Could I bring you a pie later?
Last year, Nintendo of America sold over 90 million. You'll have the answer.
What can I do for you?
Well, I'm having a little problem with, my kids are having a little problem with the Nintendo system.
All right, let's take a look at it and see what the problem is.
Well, it just seems to be a solid color on the TV screen.
Uh-huh. Okay, so you put the game in, fire it up.
And it's just blank, solid color.
Well, does it look anything like either of these two right here?
Oh, the blue one.
By spending a few minutes reviewing the Nintendo troubleshooting guide, you can probably answer 90% of the questions that come your way.
Common problem, as you can see there, it's a result of dirty connectors. It comes from, not maintaining the equipment properly, getting a little dust and a little dirt in there.
So what do I do?
So what you need to do is you need to use this Nintendo cleaning kit. It's just like cleaning the heads in your VCR. It goes in there, cleans up the connectors there, cleans up the connectors inside the game packs. You're all set. Back in business.
That's all I need?
That's all you need.
Terrific. How much is it?
It's $11.95. Why don't you take this service brochure with you, too? It'll help you if you need to troubleshoot anything in the future. Okay. And if this gives you any more trouble,